ये धर्म को मानना
It should
इसको
come
बर्बाद
down.
करना
It will come
बस
down.
मैं आगे बोल रहा हूँ अगर
Setting correct devices.
को वैचारिक आदान प्रदान की नई दिशा में
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, ready, huh? Hare Krishna, welcome to our session 3 of this course, Science of Self-Realization. How many of you came to session 1? Session 2? Okay. It's 4 sessions. Tomorrow is the last one, but it's concluding everything. Today we are doing a big topic, karma and reincarnation. Okay, so we begin. We are going to discuss today these following topics. Why do bad things happen to good people? The concept of karma. Types of karma. How karma works. The process of reincarnation. Cases of reincarnation. Mechanism. And stop the cycle. Okay, starting, why do bad things happen to good people? We see that some people who are very good, very nice, go through suffering, and many people become disturbed by that. And on the other side, we see sometimes people are so cruel, so bad, and they seem to be everything going nice for them. So now if you ask this generally to religious leaders, people can't answer. They'll say different things. Okay, some say they deserve it, they did something wrong, some reaction is coming. But what about a small child who's just born and is suffering? 3-4-year-old child? How do you explain that suffering? If you say it's something they did wrong. Okay, no, others say no. This is the will of God, we have to accept it. I am born like this, I have to accept he is born like that. Okay, but we should understand, there should be understanding, philosophy, tattva. Why is he, God, having more mercy on him than me? At least understanding it. Or is it that God wants to see me suffer? He is taking the side of that person, and I'm suffering, but he's not. That person is not suffering. Is this the thing? That means God is bad, sadistic. You know that word? Sadistic. No, God is not like that. The word God, you know how it comes? Who knows? Where does it come from? I researched. It comes from German. German, God is G-U-T, good, means the good one. The person who is very good. We may have friends, but we may have friends or relatives, they're good, but one day they'll get angry or say something bad. They'll not be good all the time. But this person is good, always good. So good from good came God. So God is good. Why do bad things happen to good people? If we say that God, he wanted this person to suffer, not the other, so then that is sadistic. Then why should we worship God if he's like that? But that's not the fact. Okay? So we look at the answer. We know the answer. The answer is karma. All of you know. This is the reason. But now, why are we asking all these questions? See, why I'm asking this question, that why do bad things happen to good people? Just carry on with our course or work. Why you want to look into this matter? This is the reason we should look into this. The reason is because we have to have knowledge of what is going on. If we have that knowledge, we'll be able to commit deeper with more devotion to God. Sharanagati, surrender to God, is possible if we understand the background, what is going on. Okay? Today in Germany, there are many atheists. How did it start? In World War II, what happens when you're in danger? Everyone prays to God, isn't it? So World War II, Hitler, at the end it was between Allied forces, that means America, Britain, Poland. Other side was Hitler's Germany. So everyone was praying to God. Only one can win, isn't it? A war. So Germany lost the war, but they were praying. After that they thought there is no God. If God is there, then why are we suffering? Why did this happen to us? That a foreign power now took us over. Germany got subjugated then by America and Britain. So then they lost faith in God. Now see, we don't want this to happen, isn't it? So we have to understand, when we are going through suffering, what is going on. We have to understand. And therefore, even there's a saying in our Gaudiya books, Siddhantya bale chite na kararas, iha haite Krishna lagi sudirda manas. It means one should not be lazy to understand philosophy, because by this our mind will become firmly fixed in God. So this is the reason we're going to look into this topic today in a deeper way. Although we see people suffering and enjoying, we may feel bad about it. So at the back of our mind, we may question, we may have some doubt, but we have to properly understand what's going on. So why do bad things happen to good people? And now we just answer the question of why do we ask this question? Because we want to get knowledge of God more firmly. Okay, so now karma. Let's look at the concept of karma. Perception versus reality, because everyone has some idea of karma. But is it correct what we think? Okay, now what do people think of karma? Whatever good or bad you do, it comes back to you. Yeah, correct, okay. If something bad happens to someone, then it means if someone does something bad and then something bad happens to him after a few seconds or minutes, it means this is a punishment. They call it instant karma. No, that's not true. Karma is not instant. Now you have instant coffee, instant everything. People are into everything should happen quickly. No, karma you have to wait one lifetime. There's a reason for that, I'll explain you. So karma comes immediately? No, it comes in the next life. Next point, some people say, we don't accept karma. I don't believe it. Okay, so it will not act on you because we don't believe? No, it's not about faith. It's a fact. It's a scientific fact. I explained in session 1, synthesis of science and religion, how actually in the Vedic conception, religion and science are not separate. They're very much intertwined. We present spirituality scientifically. It's based on reason and logic and spirituality. So now if someone says, I don't believe in karma, we don't believe in it. We are not Hindu. It's not about that. It is a fact that karma, that in this universe, in this creation, what we do comes back. We have a reaction. Okay. So karma, what is it actually? It is an activity which is for our benefit, our sense gratification, our enjoyment, but which is following the Shastra, the scripture. It's not against Shastra. It's a little technical definition. And just after this, I'll go deeper into that to explain you. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks, Kim karma? What is karma? Krishna replies, definition of karma actually, coming in Bhagavad Gita, in this verse 8.3. Krishna replies in this, that's the verse in Sanskrit translation, action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entity is called karma. Little bit twisting words, I hope you understand. So, now actually let's go to the definition. Who here knows that this word karma, what is the Sanskrit word translation exactly? Who knows? If we say karma, there's actually a Sanskrit word. This translates to English. Okay, you don't know, so I'll tell you. The word is activity. Karma means activity. Not normal activity, activity which is sukriti, not sinful, not papi. An activity we do which is according to Shastra, this is called karma. So karma is an action which gives a reaction. Actually, when people say karma, it's not karma, it's karma phal. You see, the fruit of the action is coming and hitting you. I do something wrong and I get a reaction. The reaction is actually what we are talking about is karma phal, the fruit of the action, the result, the reaction. But anyway, just to make it simple, I'll say karma. We'll get confused. Okay. So, karma is for our sense enjoyment. We are doing some action for my benefit, not for God. Okay? I am doing it for me. So when we do karma, when we do an action for myself, for my enjoyment, this is what happens. We are going to take birth again in this world. It is an action by which we are building our next body. So this is called action pertaining to development of material body. This is called karma. Now you remember we spoke about having two bodies? Yeah, what are they? Subtle body and gross body. Okay, for those who are not there. This is a gross body. Sanskrit, sthul sharir, which we can see. There's another body inside, or we all have sukshma sharir. We cannot see. That is made of mind, intelligence, and the jivas, the soul, we, bewildered soul, not the pure soul, ahankar. So now, every action I do is recorded in my subtle body. Every action I do. Accordingly, by the end of the life, that reaction what body will get will depend on the record of all the actions I did. So any action I do, I spoke something to someone, I maybe ate something, drank something, or I give some charity. Everything is recorded in our subtle body. Okay, and then reactions will come for that. So last time I spoke about Dhritarashtra, what he spoke to Krishna. So what was that? Session 2. How many of you heard that? I repeated. You heard it. 2 of you. 3 of you heard it. Okay, so what happened was that in Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra had come to Krishna. He told him that I had 100 sons. They were all killed, and I was born blind. Why did this happen? So Dhritarashtra had some power. He could remember 100 lifetimes before. So then Krishna told him that you can remember 100 lifetimes. Could you remember the 101 lifetime before? He said, no, you cannot remember that. He said that you were a hunter. You shot an arrow, flaming arrow, in a nest. And 100 of the children of the birds, 2 birds, their children, you burnt 100 of their kids. And the father's bird was burnt with the fire. He became blind. So then Dhritarashtra asked him that, okay, but that was 101 lifetimes ago. Why is it happening now? The reaction. Then Krishna answered that because it took you 101 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes to accumulate the sukriti to have 100 sons. So we don't know when the karma will act. But the record is there for unlimited so many actions that we did in the past. They are there in the subtle body recorded. Okay, so actions which are centered around our enjoyment, but which are according to Shastra, not simple. That is called karma. Okay, now I spoke about karma, but there are types of karma. Okay, let's look at that. The types of karma. This comes in one shlok in Bhagavad Gita. It will be given in more detail in other parts of Veda, but here we have this shlok. Okay, translation. Intricacies of action. Intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know what is action, forbidden action, inaction. Here, karma, vikarma, akarma. There are three types of karma. Have you ever heard that? Yeah. Now you'll hear. So, the three types of karma. Now, one thing note here, the last line, you see here. Gahana karmano gati. Translation is, the translation is that karma is difficult to understand. Don't worry if you cannot understand what I'm saying. It says here, Gahana karmano gati. It's not easy to understand karma. Particularly, some action happens. Is this a reaction from something someone did? Or am I planting a reaction now which will come later? We don't know. It's not easy to understand karma. But anyway, three kinds of karma here. Karma, akarma, vikarma. So karma, karma, akarma. Okay, three types. Okay. So we said what is karma, that you got. Okay. Now there's something else here. Vikarma. Some of you may know. What is vikarma? No? I'll say. Okay. Vikarma means action for our enjoyment, but which is not according to Shastra, which is sinful. Okay. Example, murder, theft, stealing, lying, cheating. This is vikarma. We are doing it to benefit ourselves, but it's not according to Shastra. But karma is for our enjoyment, but according to Shastra. Okay, and that is example. Some people, they build hospitals, school and all this. That's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But it's not a spiritual act. Because it's not nothing to do with God. And so what is happening is, I have to take birth again to enjoy good result. If I do a bad thing, I have to take birth again to enjoy a bad result. Okay, this is karma and vikarma. But now there's something else called akarma. Akarma is something which Shastra ordains. Yes, this is good, and it's benefit. Krishna is benefiting. It's for God. It's not for me. I'm doing some action where God benefits. Okay, example: puja, japa, bhakti. These actions. So this is called akarma. These are three types of karma. And in Bhagavad Gita it's explained. Then one should understand these three types of actions. Because by understanding, we can become free from the cycle of birth and death, karma, the reincarnation, punarjanma. We can become free. Because we have to know how to live in this world. So in the chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna how to live in this world. Arjuna didn't want to fight. He said, I'm going to kill these people, I'll get sinful reactions. And then I'll have to suffer. But then Krishna explained, no, if there's some action which is given in Shastra, or Guru, or God, Krishna is saying it, and we do, that does not bind us. We will not get a sinful reaction. So that is how it's explained. In this akarma, what is the result? The result is that whatever we do makes us become free from the cycle of birth and death, akarma. But karma and vikarma, every action binds us tighter and more strongly to this material world. We become more and more bound. Okay, these are types of karma. Now let's look at how karma works. Okay, how does it work? It's showing here. Is that laying the cause of binding of karma? That means we do some action. Okay, we do the action. that record is stored in the subtle body. Okay. Now when it is stored, it will come back. The reaction will happen. When will it happen? We don't know. How? We don't know next life what will happen to us. We don't know next second. You may say, oh, I know my birth chart. That's it, written everything. But we don't know nowadays. They're not so accurate like before. We don't know what our destiny is. So we do an action, it is stored. Then materialization of the God. That means after some time that reaction, like you're born and then this is your destiny. You're born under this nakshatra, it means this will happen, whatever. And then we get the result. 3 stages. Every action is recorded, then karma prepares to take effect, then we take birth, and in this birth we know this is our destiny. Some of you had your birth chart taken. It will say a lot of things. Especially if you go to anyone and tell him, this is my nakshatra, this is my rashi, this is my ascendant sign. Immediately without asking, they can tell you, this will happen, this will. Of course, more details, then you have to go further. But the point is that these reactions, they are already calculated. It's not that because I'm born now I have to suffer this. No, it's because I have to go through this and this according to my karma. So we are put under certain deva, certain nakshatra who will give the karma to us. So this is the function, how it works. So you can just imagine, every action we do, every single action, it will bind us. If it's for our enjoyment, this is how it works. According to what we want happens. Now if we take action to enjoy this world or enjoy the body, so what happens? That definition we saw. Action which leads to development of another material body. So that means we will take birth again. So you can, like someone is standing here and one rope ties him to a grill, and another rope, then another rope, another rope. So the more we do sense gratification, the more we try to enjoy, then the bondage becomes more to this material world and we lose our spiritual quality. We are all souls. At the present moment, that spiritual quality is not manifest. It's not manifest because our desire was to enjoy the world. So the next subsequent births, we are not able to perceive God or ourselves as a spiritual entity. In second session we explained we are souls. Why can't we see that? Because we're in material consciousness. So this is the result of karma and vikarma. The more we do these actions, the more our spiritual nature goes and disappears. For humans, it's still there little. For animals, it's almost gone. And plants, you can almost not tell there's a soul there. They're not at all moving. So Bhagavad Gita tells us that all actions we do, the karma, should be for Krishna. Krishna tells Arjuna, your karma is that you are Kshatriya, you have to do this, born according to your varna. But you should not act and do it for your enjoyment. You're meant to do it, use it to serve God, and that is called karma yoga. Otherwise, now you're declining to fight. But that's for your enjoyment. You don't want, you're not listening to high authority. You're not following Veda and me, Krishna said. So, for your enjoyment, you're not fighting. What will happen? You'll be bound. You'll have to take birth again and suffer the result. Okay, there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita, this is the one, that we have to act for Krishna in everything we do. Work, that means karma, done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Whatever karma you have to do, like supposing, I'll give the example later anyway. So otherwise the work causes bondage in the material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, you perform your duty to satisfy God, not for yourself. Okay, now what does this mean? Supposing I'm going to give charity. We should give charity. Traditionally in the Vedic age, the Indian system, charity was given for spiritual causes. to temple for prasad and these things, gyan, dan, like this. Okay, then later on, mostly when other religious systems came to India, they introduced this system of that charity is given to poor people. Actually, the government has to take care of poor people. They have to make sure everyone is eating, everyone has everything. But the common man, whatever he has, charity is meant to be given for spiritual causes. Why? Because supposing I do some action, karma, this is the karma phal, the reaction, I am giving it for spiritual cause, then it purifies me. Especially if I did anything wrong in that action, it gets purified, that's one thing. But another thing is that I will not become bound by the karma and take birth again. Therefore the system was, anybody doing charity or business, education, everything should be centered around Krishna, around God. Education means we are meant to study about God. Or, okay, we get educated, now we work with that education, but the result we give for spiritual cause. Okay? House. Houses before were made very spiritual. There was a vigraha, and the whole family will sit together in the evening and speak some katha like that. Of course, now we have TVs. No one is going to do that. And previously, it was even villages have TVs now, but previously they'll all sit and hear some spiritual narration. Everyone will get that. So, house, family affairs, charity, business, everything was spiritualized. In that way, it will not get a bad result. But now no one is doing that. But Bhagavad Gita is saying that the karma we do binds us. But if Krishna is benefiting from that, it won't. Then it's called akarma. So therefore it says here that we have to work for Krishna. Now we are talking about karma and karma. We are saying karma doesn't act now, it acts in the next birth. Okay? So, reincarnation, let's look at that. So when the soul takes the next birth, then the result comes. How does reincarnation happen? When after death, the soul takes another body. Say, Bhagavad Gita says this is happening all the time. All of us are repeatedly taking birth according to our karma and suffering or enjoying. Okay, this is... now, someone may ask a question. Why does karma not act immediately? Who can say? What do you think? Someone does something wrong, karma should act, isn't it? Why are you delaying? In the law system of this country, if you do something wrong, immediately police come. So why is it delayed one lifetime? Yes?
To get a chance to rectify the problem.
Okay, you're saying chance to rectify? No, that's not. There's a particular reason, I'll tell you. But who can guess?
To realize.
So, what's that?
To make realize.
So, someone realizes he did something wrong?
Yes.
But the reaction still has to come. Yeah?
The good karma just prevent those bad karmas.
To cancel them. No, that also doesn't happen. If someone does bad karma, it says, okay, now I'll do some feeding poor people, that then that karma will go. Actually, it won't go. We have to, both of them are.
They just making it delay.
There'll be a delay. Prayashchit is there that you will suffer in the next line later. I'll tell you the reason. For this, I'm going to explain you some technical detail. I hope you understand, because we didn't go so deep. We are living this life, okay? Now, you see, all of us have a body. This body is our karma phal. You understand? Phal, fruit, just like a tree produces the fruit. What is the point of the roots, the water, the bark, the leaves, photosynthesis? The whole point is to produce the fruit. Now that sum total of our past life, the sum total of our actions and desires, this is the result. Okay? Now, in our past life, we had some desires. I want to live like this. I want to do this or that. Okay, we had desires. Also, we had some karma to pay back. For example, it is said that one who kills a pious person or brahmana has to take birth in a desert without water. That's example I'm giving you. So now, we have to fulfill our desires in this life as well as suffer the reaction. But if you do something wrong and the reaction comes immediately, it's going to ruin this effect, you see. Someone is in jail, he's suffering whatever he's going through. So similarly, we are having to go through something. By the way, can you move in front, because more people are coming than they're not sitting on the mat. Okay. So now look, I'm speaking. If someone wants to put in a question or comment, just you can say it, okay? So my point is that the reason karma does not attack immediately is because we have to go through something. You know, we have to go through that from the past life. And so whatever has to happen, it will delay, then the next life it will happen. There will be a calculation that this is your desires and your karma and you have to go through that. And this is why karma doesn't come immediately. I hope you caught it. Okay? So I'll just summarize. We don't get karma reacting immediately because we have to go through a calculation, whatever from the past life, and it should not be disturbed. And whatever has to happen will happen in the next life. Okay, therefore, Gahana karma no gati. Karma is not easy to understand. It's very deep. But Bhagavad Gita does a very good job to make us understand. We have to understand the art of living. We have to know how to act. The real art of living. Okay, so now, process of reincarnation. Now, reincarnation is also known by these words in the Vedas. Actually, Sanskrit is such a language. By the word, you can understand very great detail of the meaning. Okay, like here, the one word is Bhava Sagar, translates to ocean of birth and death. Why is it called an ocean? Because an ocean is something very difficult to cross, and it's fearful. How are we going to cross? If someone is in the middle of the ocean, how do you get out? It's very difficult. We need help. So, the ocean of birth and death that we are in, it's like an ocean. It's very difficult to cross. How do you come out of this cycle? It's very difficult. So it's compared to an ocean of birth and death. There's a famous shlok where Krishna is saying that if somebody is worshipping me with undivided attention, then Bhavamina Chirapartha Maya Vishadatir. How do you, what is the beginning of that verse? He's Mrityu Samsara Sagara. Bhavamina Chirapartha Maya Vesha Mano. No, that's not it. Okay, anyway. So in one verse, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, one who is worshipping with great concentration, fully, with his mind, body, words, then he says that, I pick him up from the ocean, Mrityu Samsara Sagara, from the ocean of birth. So someone drew a picture, and the picture to depict that verse, where Krishna is coming on Garuda and pulling someone out, and he's drowning in the ocean. Now imagine if you're in the middle of the ocean, no boat, swimming. How will you cross? You cannot cross. You need help of someone who's not in the ocean, isn't it? If someone else comes, I'm also swimming, I'll help you, you're like me, how can you help? It should be someone in a helicopter or on Garuda. Vishnu, he's not in the ocean, meaning he's not in cycle. Therefore, who can rescue us? Only God, or somebody who is a pure devotee himself is not undergoing cycle of birth and death. It means he has conquered over his material desires. So, Bhava Sagar, therefore Sagar, ocean. Another one is here, Samsara Chakra. Chakra means cycle. Cycle of material existence. You know, if you see a cycle, there is no beginning or end. It goes on. So we are in this cycle. Mrityu Samsara Vartmani, path of repeated birth and death. Different words in Sanskrit for the same term we are calling reincarnation, cycle of birth and death. Okay, now this word reincarnation, this is a hint. What is the origin of this word? Because I mentioned if you study a word, you can understand about it in Sanskrit. But actually, this is a Latin word. English origin, the words of English normally come from Latin, a lot of them Greek, some of them German, like that. So, what is it? Reincarna. What does re mean? Again, redo. Some of you might remember, I spoke about this in an earlier session. Re means again. In means inside. What does karna mean? What is carnivore? Carnivore. What does carnivore mean? Meat eater. Animal. The word karna means meat in Latin. So reincarna. This is a Latin word. Again enter the flesh. We are not flesh, we are spirit. We are trapped in the flesh, but we die, again enter the flesh, again enter the body. What does this tell us? Reincarnation was fully accepted by Europe before. It was even in the Christian tradition till 300 AD. At that point, there was what they call Second Council in Constantinople, what is today known as Istanbul. That was under Rome. And that time they brought the Christians and they started writing the book and formalizing the belief, and then they rejected reincarnation. But all the previous, before that, reincarnation was accepted in Greek philosophy, in Romans, in Christianity. It is not what we say, this Hindu idea, Eastern idea, or Buddhist idea. It's not a belief. We don't believe in reincarnation. Oh, so you will not reincarnate because you don't believe? No, it's not like that. This is a scientific fact. So, reincarnation is not it is religious in the sense it pertains to God, but it does not mean that we don't accept it won't be there. It's a fact of life, it is scientific. You see this picture? It's depicting, you see these white lines and dots. This is the journey of the soul. All of us sitting here, we took these births. We took unlimited births. Unlimited. You see, the top right is a Devata. Devata took what is a human. Human is a monkey. Okay, then there's a buffalo. Buffalo took also as an elephant. In this way, there are 84 lakh species. We have all gone through them. And unfortunately, we are still going through them. We're going through. And what will depend? Which birth we take depends on our karma. Every action we do is calculated. Supposing we eat a lot of meat without restriction, but the human body cannot process it. No, we get cancer and all these problems. So what will happen? Nature will give you a body which you can take it. So next birth is like lion, cheetah or something. Whatever we like, current actions we do, we take that body. So there are many very deeply philosophical writings and bhajans also, especially in our sampradaya, Gaudiya, Vaishnava sampradaya, from which Iskcon is coming. There's one song, Anadi karma phale, podi bhavarnava jale, tori bale na dekhi upai. They're all written in Bengali. I have fallen into the ocean of material existence as a result of my selfish activities, which are without beginning or end. And I see no means of deliverance from this great ocean. So we are in that ocean, you see there's an ocean in the background, this picture. In the ocean we are drowning, coming up. They say when you're coming up, that means we took human birth. A little bit of relief is there. But next birth, if you take birth as a dog doesn't have sense. That look, it's raining, why don't I build a house? Why do I have to suffer in the rain? They cannot think, they have to suffer in the rain. And then we are eating, then keeping food for tomorrow, working, studying. But animals cannot do that. So one day dog will eat, other day he won't eat. Then he's barking, shouting, I don't have food. They don't have that brain. So we may take that birth, then we have to suffer. That is like we are at the bottom of the ocean. Then we may come up of the ocean, we can breathe. In this way, it says this bhajan, E vishaya hala hale divanishi hiya jole manakabur sukha nahi pai. Day and night my heart burns from the poison of the worldly activities. and my mind never finds satisfaction or happiness. So, this is not our first birth. We took many births. Many births, you see, family. We had elephant, mother, father. We had giraffe, demigod, cat, dog, snake. We had many births. Do you remember monkey birth? No. We had that also. So now one of you might say, but I don't remember anything. And if someone will say, I don't remember, so it didn't happen because I can't remember. There was a time when you learned to speak, your first speech, isn't it? Maybe age 2, I think, isn't it? Can you tell me what you said, first word? Can you remember? You can't. And another question. There was a time when you were born in the hospital. Can you remember who was there? What they were saying? So it didn't happen. Can we say that? Because we didn't remember. It did not happen. We cannot say that. We may not remember, but it happened. We went through many things we may not remember, but we went through it. So according to our karma, we take birth again in some species, in some planet, some culture, some country, some religion, some family, certain kind of mother, father, certain kind of house. Everything is due to our past karma. So we better find out what is karma, understand, so we don't do it again, isn't it? This is Bhagavad Gita's lesson. So we cannot find the beginning of this journey. It says Anadi Karma Phale. It happened a very long time ago. When we came to this material world. And actually we are not from here, we are from Vaikuntha, we are from a spiritual world. So now we are saying that actually it happens a lot that people do remember their past lives. You might have heard some about that, huh? Of people who remember past lives. Does anyone know any names? I mean, they're very famous. Okay, it's not something that you will go to on YouTube. There are other things we'll rather look at. But out of India, I'm talking about America, Britain, there are children who are remembering their past lives. And this is not something we can ignore, because what happens, when they keep repeating this, then the parents are thinking, that, what are you talking about? I had a house, you are not my mother, I had another mother. Where? Then they take all the details and they go and find that place somewhere. Everything is true. And parents don't know what to do, because these are not Hindus, they're Christian, they're told there's no reincarnation. But my child is describing everything. What shall we do? And then they call some psychologist, he saw something on TV, or you talking something, they don't accept. Because if they accept that, then now next question comes, now how to learn about this? There's nothing in there religious or scientific. They have to come to the Vedas, isn't it? Better just say it doesn't exist. But they're so clear that there's some people who have actually studied and documented these things. And they wrote elaborate books, papers, everything about that. Anyway, I want to just for us to play the video, it will be fast. This is my account. Find it. Line ago, James line ago, that one. And then it will be here, immediately we'll get it. Okay, so I'm saying that there are many cases now. Now it's almost, in America, there are a lot of people who accept past life, reincarnation, because they're seeing things happening. And then you may say, oh, he's a fool, he's crazy, that one, but so many people. And some are from very educated backgrounds. So now let's look at some of these cases. Okay, cases of reincarnation. So before that, we'll speak about this personality. This is Ian Stevenson, very famous among Iskcon devotees. He documented 3,000 cases of reincarnation. These stories keep coming up, but everyone is ignoring it. He went to actually investigate and found this is true. He wrote it down. But many people ignored him because how can you explain it? They cannot explain it with the present scientific system. So he actually founded, it's called here Division of Perceptual Study. He founded a division only to study this. He wrote 300 papers. You know what's a paper? When in science we write a paper, authorized with research, references, result of experiment. So he wrote 300 papers. There was nothing wrong with them. They were perfectly scientific, proper, and 14 books on reincarnation. Now, what did he find? That this is the one. This is the one. Okay, fine. So, what he found is, you see, sometimes someone has a birthmark. They'll be born with some mark here, or like this, born like that. He found a lot of cases it was from their past life, some wound. Also, some people maybe have a fear of water, or fear of building, some building. And what he used to do, like I did in one session here, I asked someone, how old are you? 19. Okay, now what he will do is he'll hypnotize them. They'll enter deep trance. He'll say, okay, now tell me your name. They'll say their name. And where are you now? I'm here. Okay. Go back 10 years. Where are you? Oh, I am in Finland. Okay. And what is your mother saying? She's saying this. What are you doing? Okay. Now go back 30 years. 20-year-old person, he went back 10 years. Now he's going back 30 years. It is not that life, isn't it? Now he's asking, what is your name? He tells another name. Where are you now? I'm in this place. They're noting everything. And what is your mother saying? What are you doing? Look around. What do you see? I have videos. One video I had. One Spanish woman. She was 20. Go back 19 years. 1 year old. What is your mother saying? Now, we cannot remember when we are 1 year old, isn't it? But actually, there is a record, you see. Our intelligence is not there, but everything is recorded like a video reel. So she's saying, my mother is saying this. Now go back 10 years. What are you? Where are you? I'm in a forest. What do you see? I see a river. Look down. What do you see? I see grass. And around you, so many deers. What else do you see? Deers and horns and grass. Anything else? No. What is your name? She's quiet. What is your name? She said, I'm a deer. You see, now we can't remember we are deer. But everything is recorded in the subtle body. It's like a film reel. And I don't know if you ever heard of this, but when someone dies, their whole life plays in a second. Whole life goes. It flashes in like a video. You'll see yourself from beginning, not like a long 1 hour film, very fast. Actually, it says in Skanda Puran, when that happens, and if in that second, if you saw Jagannath on the Rath, then it will stop there and you will go back to Vaikuntha. Anyway, so these records are there. This is called regression. He did regression. He took details and went to find them, and they were all true. So he found out that someone might have a certain fear. Like I'll tell you, there was someone called Cade, C-A-D-E, in America. This person had a fear of buildings, and whenever he saw a plane, he'll run away. Anyway, it found out that he died on the World Trade Center. Till now, he's 7 years, he will not enter a skyscraper. He said, I'm not going to enter. And they don't know what to do. And he cannot even enter a plane. When he sees a plane, he runs away. So many cases are there all over internet. Okay, there's one case of one girl who was always afraid of buses and water. So that they did regression on her because no one could solve this problem. Or why is she afraid? She has to go to school, she's not entering the bus. In the past life, she was in a village and a bus hit her. She fell in the rice paddy field, but she was young and it was flooded and she drowned. So this is the... So now a lot of things can be explained by reincarnation. For example, you go and ask anybody who is not coming from a Vedic background. Tell him that a child of 5-year-old is born and suffering. Why? Can you answer? No one can answer this. Why? Why does God want a 5-year-old to suffer? It's God's will. Why should God want that? He wants us to suffer? No. Okay, why is a 5-year-old child suffering? Oh, he did something wrong. 5-year-old child? What can they do? They're 5 years old. There is no explanation unless you accept reincarnation. Karma and reincarnation, through this we can explain. And if we have deep understanding of this world, then our religious faith will become very deep, our spiritual strength. Otherwise, like in Germany, they couldn't understand why we lost the war. They gave up God, and then, but this is not a good thing. Then they become materialistic. Then we suffer more. Okay, so now this person, Ian Stevenson. Now we're going to look at 2 cases. Okay, 2 other cases. This is one case. Does anyone know about this? This was very famous all over the world. It was so shocking because it was public and it was, you could not disprove it. The case of Shanti Devi. It was studied by so many people. Why? A lot of them were trying to disprove it. So anyway, this person on the left, Shanti Devi, was born in 1926 December in Delhi. But just less than a year before that, 1925, someone called on the right side, Lugdi Devi, she died. Okay. Now, when the person on the left was born, she didn't speak till age 3. When she started speaking, she started, as usual, talking about past, my parents, my home, my son, my husband, and then, children will speak any nonsense. Okay. But she kept talking, kept speaking, and then she tried to run away.